top of the morning, afternoon to all of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello. It's a brand new day, y'all. I'm so delighted to see each one of you. Welcome to the Washington Rebels and Carpe Diem Noon Daily Antidote of Singing. Here every day at noon. Let me see. I just have to say hello particularly to each one of you. Starting with Marnie, Betsy, I already said hey to Nico, and Binta, our tech person. Hindi, I think. Hindi, hey. Pete, Carolyn, Doug, welcome. Sheila, Fred, Isabel, Carolyn, Steve, Bonnie, Lucy, Dan, Fran, Beryl, Fran Wilson, Daniel, hey, Luda, Max. Let me go on to the next page and see who we have here. Lisa, Susan, hey. Barb from Berea, I see your name, so she's, hey, we're that's home folk right there. Nancy, hey. And then there's Jane, Marion, Susan, and Sydney, Sandra, Greg, hey. Why do I keep wanting to say LMG, but I know, and I keep forgetting your beautiful name. Jane, I see your name there, and I see Gary's coming in, and Valerie, Catherine, all you wonderful folks. Hey, just delighted to see everybody. It's just, take a deep breath with me. We just have another day, y'all, to just celebrate life. Okay, now this happens. Welcome those of you who are with us on Facebook. I want you to know that this fantastic get-together happens every day at noon. And the Washington Rebels with the capable hands of Joe Rossi, raise your hand, Joe, one of the movers and shakers, has been providing this for us for 217 days, y'all. Today is day 217, every day. Singing, bringing quality people from all around the world to just uplift us and remind us that we are all connected together. So don't forget, y'all, to donate now. Because this is not, they're bringing this to us free, and these artists come and bring their hearts. So if you can, be sure to get that donate button and help us keep this work going on. Also, if you want to be on the email to get information, just send it in and they'll take good care of you. I want to start off by singing this song, and it's a follow-up from what discussion has happened early on. It goes like this. Freedom isn't free. Freedom isn't free. You gotta sacrifice. You gotta pay the price for your liberty. One more time, y'all. Freedom isn't free. Freedom isn't free. You've gotta sacrifice. You've gotta pay the price for your liberty. Yes. And we know that all so well, so well. So keeping that theme, this has been a week of sharing songs about racial justice. And, you know, racial justice really goes to human justice and worldwide. We've been having fabulous guests, and I am delighted to welcome to you today the fabulous Dr. Diane White-Clayton. Now, I'm totally unbiased, but she happens to be my sister. Woo! You know, so I already know y'all. I already know she's fabulous. Let me tell you this young lady, her doctorate's in composition. I won't go too long, Joe, but I just want you to know she's a phenomenal singer, composer, a songwriter, choral director. She's performed all over the world, award-winning for her compositions. Actually, her doctorate was in that area. But she runs the gamut from classical music to gospel that we both grew up together in, to jazz, and you name it, baby, she's got it. So she's going to come and share with us a song she's written that I thought would be so appropriate as we celebrate looking at songs about racial justice, our past stories, and our presents. So, at this point, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. I am welcoming myself too. This is my first time being here. I am so excited to see your faces and so excited in the spirit realm to hear your voices. I know that you have been so blessed. When I heard about this format, I was just like, wow, how amazing that is. You know, I always tell people during this season, you are living history. We are one of, we are groups of the most resilient Americans ever because we have endured since March and we're still here. We're still, sane most of the time for me, not all the time. But this song encourages you to pass on your story. You have three words very simply. So pass it on. Pass it on. Everybody say that. Say, pass it on. Yes, say it again. Say, pass it on. Yes, yes, I feel you. I feel you. So we start off in unison. You just say, pass it on. Pass it on. You say, pass it on. Pass it on. Sing that with me. Pass it on, pass it on, beautiful. Pass it on, pass it on. So this song is about passing on legacy, passing, not just telling, what happened, how you had a favorite teacher in second grade, but passing on the story of your struggles. This was written for a group that was doing a particular musical related to race relations several years ago. And we can stop whether you have family that went through the Holocaust or any other kinds of horrid things that human beings have done to human beings. We can just stop there in bitterness and in anger, or we can understand the power of resilience and pass that story. All right? One more time. Here we go. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. Now, the first time around, you're going to do just that unison. Now, I know we've got harmony people here, so when we do it the second time around, and I'll just say, okay, parts, when I say that, altos and basses, you stay there. You stay solidly on that melody, okay? Sopranos, you're going to go here. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. I see you, sopranos. Let's do it again. Come on. Pass it on. That's the sopranos. That's the altos. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. Beautiful. Now, tenors. I got some tenors, right? I know I do. Yes, I see you. I see you. Tenors. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. Do it again. All three parts. Pass it on. Pass it on. Yes. Pass it on. Pass it on. Now, that's almost the whole song. The ending says, pass it on. Do that. Pass it on. Then sopranos, you will go, pass it on. Okay? Altos, pass it on. And basses, pass it on. Pass it on. Beautiful. Tenors, you say, pass it on. Pass it on. Wonderful. Okay, you ready? So now listen to the words of the verse, because that kind of gives the meat of the song. And I know a lot of you are folks that can pick up really easy. I believe the words are in the chat, right? Yes, yes, yes. All right, wonderful. So if you can pick it up, just join me. It starts off with you and me together in unison. Pass it on, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. years, how we suffered tribulation, pass it on. So many died trying to live, hear the cries, I hear them still. And I sang the wrong words, but that's okay, we'll overcome. You say, oh, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. Parts, pass it on. That's right, tenors are here, pass it on, pass it on. Here's the second verse. Oh, the grief of our past. Tell the stories, make them last. Tell of how we made it over. Pass it on. So many died trying to live. Hear the cries, I hear them still. Won't forget, can't forget, I never will. You say, oh, pass it on. Oh, yeah, sing, y'all. Pass it on. We start in unison, right there. Pass it on. Pass it on. Go to parts. Tell your story. Pass it on. Come on, tell your story. Pass it. You got it. Come on, tell it. Pass it on. Pass it on. Come on, lift those hands. Pass it on. Pass it on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pass it on. Somebody needs to hear it. Pass it on. Pass it on. How you made it through COVID. Pass it on. How you made it through 2020. Pass it on. All that you've been through. Pass it on. Pass it on. Do it again. One more time. Pass it on. Pass it on. Yes. Come on. Pass it on. You can ad lib right where you are. Yeah. Pass it on and on and on and on. Pass it on. One last time. Pass it on. Yeah. You can sing it with me. Pass it on. Whatever you feel right there. Oh yeah. Pass it on. Pass it on. If you remember that ending, here it is. You say, pass it on. Pass it on. We need to hear your story. We need to hear your story. Don't ever underestimate the power of your story. Nobody has lived your story except you. God bless you.
Woo! Oh my goodness, Dr. D. Join me again, everybody, in just thanking her for sharing that empowering, beautiful message of passing it on. Now I'm going to turn off my original sound, and Diane, you turn off yours and tell us a little bit more. Thank you so, so much. It just touches me so deeply every time I hear that, y'all. Just passing it on. We have, brings tears to my eyes. Tell me how this song came to be.
Well, a woman in the Midwest reached out to me. This was several years ago. The church was, predominantly Anglo descent, and maybe 40% African-American, 40% African-American. And they were having some conflicts. There was just the lack of understanding from a lot who had not come from African-American tradition. African-Americans were just like, you guys don't understand, this is going on here, that's going on, listen to the music differences, listen to the overtones, just all of that, and the cultural support, so she had an idea, as art often does, to bring healing through an art form. So there was a play called Hidden in Plain View that talked about the messages, hidden messages that were written through, or that were created rather, through quilts by slaves. And so this play, long story short, had music to it. She had heard about me, so she contacted me to ask me to write the music for this play and to come. for the actual production. So the main song, the culminating song was this, Pass It On. And the issue is that, not issue, but the focus is that we all have stories. So it doesn't matter what, where you come from, but what was found, what she realized was that many of her white counterparts or brothers and sisters were not understanding the story of African Americans. They weren't understanding the breadth. You know, people think, oh, well, not everybody, but oftentimes people think slavery was so long ago and you weren't a slave. I don't understand. And you're just like me. In fact, you have a better job than me. And I don't understand. That's, you know, that's part of the story and it's not the whole story. So that's how it came about. It's a longer piece, the full piece, but then I did it for something else and someone else heard it, you know, and kind of as songs do, it took on its own life. And so I had to truncate it and just use this part. So I have done it for a Kristallnacht celebration where my group and I performed it before Holocaust survivors, to people in tears. And we just, you know, we've done it related to all kinds of things, just all kinds of struggles and people groups that have gone through various things. So that's the background of the piece.
Wow and wow. Now, if you would like to purchase the sheet music for this piece, the link to it is in the chat. And also, I think it may be online later on, but there's the publisher has said, oh, for this special event that there would be a discount on it. You just write in Rebels and you know, share the music and support the artists. So it's available for all of you. Wow, Diane, I'm saying it's a beautiful song and a message, and that's what we need.
We do. We
forward, don't we?
And we can't, I just can't emphasize enough. I think people underestimate their stories. You think, well, I remember at one point I was in a group and everybody was saying, you know, I used to be this and I went through that. And I thought, well, I don't have that dramatic of a story, but my story matters. Your story matters because you matter and your experiences matter and someone can benefit from it. And so often our young people today are missing a big part of life and their forward progress because they haven't heard our stories. And oftentimes they'll see us as, you know, we're there, we've arrived, we can't relate, but oh, honey, let me tell you what happened to me in high school. And let me tell you about this breakup. And let me, you know, so it can be any kind of story. So I just implore you to pass on your legacy. You might be like me and I don't have physical children, but I have children in the spirit, you know, people who I love and share with. So always tell your stories.
Thank you very much. Part of my story is that's my sister, y'all.
Yes, actually blood sister. We have to clarify because we've said that at events and people go, oh, you mean like, you know, sister girl. No, like we got the same mom and same daddy, same gene pool. That's it. And it's more of us. That's kind of scary. Thank you guys so much.
There's more of us. Yes, indeed. I don't know if y'all have any, does the sheet music have guitar chords or is it keyboard centric, Diane?
It does not have guitar chords, but we meet in the middle. It does have chord symbols. So hopefully, does that work for you? Whoever asked that question, let me know. Yes,
thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Jane. I said she was working in Pennsylvania and it was all about telling the stories and asking others to tell theirs. Y'all, it's so rich. And particularly, I tell stories about African-American people, the struggle, the challenges, the power of the people. And I say, everybody has a story and this happens to be mine. Yes, yes. And part of this singing of racial justice, when you sing yours, it invites other people to share theirs. When you sing your light, it brings others there. Woo, wait. All right, let's see now. I think we get to do it one more time. Everybody says, thank you so much for being here, the beautiful song and beautiful story. Now, y'all got this, right? Just pass it on. Yes. We are actually, Diane and I were talking and we were thinking we needed to sing How I Got Over. The soul looks back and wonder how I got over. You know, after what's happening in our class with the election, soul looks back and wonder how I got over. Yes, it doesn't mean it's all done. It just means at this stage, as we celebrate where we have come from, we know there's work moving forward. Moving forward. And so part of empowering us is to pass it on. Okay, so one more time for it, and then I think we'll have to let y'all go. There's other wonderful singers. There are other wonderful singers that are coming this week to share their messages of strength and struggle and power and hope. Yes. And Joe, did you need to say anything right now to add to that? Okay. Yeah, somebody said Georgia run off next. Woo, 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 woo. Anyway, we're going to pass it on. One more time, Diane. Here we go.
Pass it on, 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 yes, pass it on, oh, pass it on, pass it on, all the pain, all the tears, all the struggles through the years, all we suffered tribulation, pass it on. When it seemed hope was gone, with our faith we carried on, and the Lord gave us strength to overcome. Oh, pass it on, that's you, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. You can take it to harmony right there, pass it on, pass it on. That's you sopranos, pass it on. Tenors right here, pass it on, pass it on. Oh, the grief of our past, come on, tell the stories, make them last, tell of how we made it over, pass it on. So many died trying to live in COVID, hear the cries, I hear them still, won't forget, can't forget, I never will. Oh, pass it on. Even when it hurts to tell the story, pass it on. Somebody needs to hear you. Pass it on. Pass it on. Because your life matters. Pass it on. Your pain matters. Pass it on. There's beauty in it. Pass it on. Pass it on. Come on, one more time. All you got, pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on, pass it on. Take that ending, here we go. Pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. Don't ever stop telling your story. Don't ever let anybody make you think that your story doesn't matter. We need to hear you. We need to know you. We need to see you. Write it down. Chat it. Tell somebody. Tell a neighbor. Even people who don't think they want to hear. When people think they know you and they really don't, tell your struggles. Sometimes because of shame, things we've gone through that are painful, we hide. Don't do that. There is beauty, there is redemption in our suffering. Pass it on, pass it on, pass it on, so I can grow. Pass it on, so your grandchildren will know. Pass it on.
Oh, Diane. Diane, oh my goodness. My eyes are filled with tears. My heart is overflowing. I just thank you. And I know that our friends feel that same way in this connection in this moment right now. Thank you for allowing us to just remember our stories, to see ourselves, to honor ourselves and each other, whether it's talking about the story of racial injustice or whether it's some injustice or just the stories throughout our world.
Yes, and the stories of our ancestors.
Yes.
The stories of our mothers, the stories of our fathers and our great-great-great-grandfathers. Tell the stories, make them last.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Woo! Okay, I think we're going to the end of our time. Woo! Okay, I had to do that again. So I'm sending out love to everybody. I thank you for coming to share with us today. Don't forget about another one tomorrow, a session every day brought to you at 12 noon, where we connect again with this daily antidote of song. Thank you, Joe, for all of the work you've done. Thank you, Binta, and any of our other tech people. I don't know if Colin's here today, but thank you all for the work that you continue to do. Thank all of you for coming and making this happen. Yes.
Thank you, Kathy Bullock. Thank you so much. And thank you, Diane White-Clayton. You guys were fabulous. Talk about passing it on. I'm passing on all my hosting duties over there to Ms. Kathy Bullock, who picks them up and takes them to places that I absolutely love. Kathy, that was great. Thank you. And Diane, that was the perfect song. And in fact, super perfect for this room where most of the people in this room have never actually met in person. And so what we actually know about each other really is our smile and the fact that we're here. And we have yet to figure out how we're going to have that part where we pass on each other's stories to each other. And I'm totally working on that, gang. We're going to figure it out. Some like endless day-long talk thing where every one of us gets the floor for half an hour. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. Diane, thank you again so much, Diane White-Clayton. And that link from your publisher is really very, very cool, very inspiring, and very nice that they're into the rebels in the way that they've made this gesture to us. So thank you for bringing that to us. And to everybody in this room. Oh,
somebody asked who was the older, and I will admit I'm the older sister, but it's like 5 of us. So we.
And you can't tell, you guys, she's much older, but she's like the youngest, you know. Kathy has the most energy. She always has. My mom said God had to have her first because she took everything out of her.
You can tell that's a sister.
In a good way.
I'm just 10 years older than Diane, but that's all right. That's all right, baby. Go ahead, Joe.
How am I supposed to say anything after that? That's awesome. Okay, you guys, thank you again so much to everybody for being here. And thank you again, Kathy and Diane. So tomorrow, so we actually have a couple of days in a row now of new artists. Tomorrow, Emma's Revolution is hosting, and they are bringing us an artist favorite of theirs, who I haven't even announced yet. So here we go. Here it is first. Melanie Demore is our artist tomorrow in the room. And I know she's amazing. And I know lots of the folks in the room have been asking about her. So please join tomorrow for Emma's and Melanie Demore. And then the next day, please join again. We've got Kathy Bullock passing it on with the hosting again. And she's going to be introducing us to her son, Philip. So it's like the Bullock Family Week here in the Daily, and we couldn't be happier about it. So thanks again to everybody. I'm going to say goodbye, actually, to everybody on Facebook Live. Thanks, gang, for joining us today. Hope to see you all tomorrow.